Hey everyone, so my favorite game is hands down Super Mario World. Its simplistic gameplay, vibrant art style, and upbeat music make it one of the most pleasant gaming experiences out there. So I thought, why not try and capture some of that in clay? I decided I would make the 4 main power-ups from the game: the mushroom, the fire flower, the cape feather, and the superstar. So without further ado, let's get started. For the mushroom, I started with some white clay and rolled it into this round cylinder shape. Then I took an X-Acto knife and cut off the bottom to leave me with this semicircle shape. Next, I pinched off 2 very small amounts of black clay and rolled them into 2 small ovals to create the mushroom's eyes. After that, I pinched off 2 even smaller bits of white clay to add a shine effect to the eyes. For the red top of the mushroom, I took a sphere of red clay and used a large ball tool to hollow out some room for the bottom of the mushroom. For the polka dots, I simply squished some small spheres of white clay between my fingers to create some nice circles. I then repeated the same pattern of polka dots on the back side of the mushroom. And there we go. Next up was the fire flower. I knew this was going to pose a challenge because it's much taller, has a thin stem holding it up, and I don't own any armature wire. So to get around this, I took some aluminum foil and rolled it into a very thin cylinder shape. It didn't look pretty, but it ended up working very well. After I had the stem made, I moved on to creating the leaves. To make them, I just molded some green clay into a diamond shape. Then I added some details with a pointy tool. You can also see here why you shouldn't drink coffee before working on small details like this. After finishing the leaves, I took the stem and just squished it down on top to connect the two together. For the top flower, I started with a sphere of orange clay and used a ball tool to start making a bowl shape. When I thought the shape was just right, I cut a bit of green away from the tin foil and stuck it on top of the stem. Then I began pinching the orange clay to create 5 little spikes around the top. To create the eyes for the flower, I took 2 small pieces of black clay and shaped them into these little arches using a smaller ball tool. And it's all done. Our third power-up is my personal favorite, the cape feather. First, I started making what I'd call a pointy oval shape with a little stem coming off of one side. Then I placed a small orange diamond shape at the top end. Next, I made the orange stripe in the middle by using 2 small strips of orange clay. I then repeated the same steps on the other side of the feather. Then I drew a line down the middle on both sides as well. For details, I wanted it to look more like an actual feather, so I started doing a bunch of lines up and down the sides. Although it didn't turn out as good as I'd hoped, I still liked it and moved on to our 4th and final power-up, the superstar. To get the star shape, I simply flattened some yellow clay and then cut a star shape out with an X-Acto knife. I then made 2 small black ovals, just like the mushroom, to create the eyes for the star. And finally, 2 more very small white circles to add a shine effect. And we're done. So here's the final result. And you may be thinking like I was and say, hey, that doesn't look so bad. Until you turn it around and realize I burned the star and the feather in the oven. But other than that, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like or subscribe if you want to see more. And as always, thanks for watching.